when I first saw this, I really and truly did not know where to go. I thought to myself that this was just Bill Maher interviewing somebody on Club Random, having a conversation with them. And of course, it was obviously Hanoi Jane, as you guys can see here in the B-roll footage. But this right here to me, at first, only confirmed what I already knew about this person. And don't worry, the video that I did on Gear Issue 33 that I promised you guys in the video that I did at 12 o'clock on Tuesday is going to be in the comment section of this video here. I advise you guys go check it out because, of course, I explained in that video why it is that Jane Fonda is, in fact, called Hanoi Jane. And of course, I know some old vets are going to come across this channel. They're probably going to get pissed off the exact same way that I'm pissed off even thinking about what she did. But seeing this clip to me only confirmed more and more and more that these people really and truly are loons.
Always know when the end is nigh because I always have the same fantasies.
Yeah.
He dies. I have arranged in my head more funerals for boyfriends and husbands.
How do they die?
Well, it's falling from a cliff.
These guys are sane. So here's Keith Olbermann. I just texted it to you, Rob, a minute ago, and you put a thumbs up. Just go to replies right there. You'll find it. Go to replies. Yeah, if you go to replies, go a little lower. Right there. Second one right there. If you just click on it. There you go. Thank you.
Look at that.
So pardon Hunter, question mark. Great. Now pardon everybody else. Every prosecutor, every Biden administration, every media figure, everybody Trump will persecute. 10 million pardons at least. Then I say, why do you seem so rattled by this news? By the way, you know he also says pardon me, like meaning pardoning him.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit deeply concerning because
now you might be wondering why it is that that clip was extended much, much further beyond the 40 seconds of Hanoi Jane basically saying that any man she's ever been with, she has a fantasy about their funeral. Why it was I threw the little bit about Keith Olbermann in there. Because that's exactly how far gone these people are, and it's a problem that I've been saying that the left is going to have, or the Democratic Party is going to have going forward. As I stated in my video 3 weeks ago about the Democratic Party being officially dead, or at least dead going forward, yes, I talked about this, and I said that they were going to have a hard time getting rid of the woke because the woke and the insane loons are pretty much about a third of their base, and they'll probably never be able to get elected to federal office outside the most blue of districts in this country. Well, last I checked, of 435 congressional districts of 50 states in this country, only about a third of it is actually really and truly blue, as in vote blue no matter who. The other areas, you got to be at least halfway sane to get elected in these places, and it's something that the Democratic Party is obviously going to have a problem with going forward. But you guys obviously clicked on this video because some of you probably listen to Bill Maher, or some of you guys may be fans of his, or some of you may be like me, somebody who quite frankly has never liked him, but still likes talking about him anyways because, I mean, this is kind of sort of the creation that he's living in. He kind of sort of helped create the current nightmare that the current left is going into. Now, I've already done several videos on that and explained why it is that that is in fact the case. However, what we're seeing out of Bill Maher now is a man who's trying to save that which he helped ruin. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that this man is looking at what the current Democratic Party and current left is right now, and he's going out of his way to save whatever little bit that he can. But he's finding out more and more and more that that right there could, in fact, be impossible. Olbermann is kind of persona non grata. We're not going to spend much time on him in this video, but you guys will see towards the end exactly how loony he is. But let me get back to Hanoi Jane. Now, before we get to Hanoi Jane, before we talk about the lunacy on the Club Random podcast, there's going to be probably 3 videos out tomorrow. I'm going to have this video out on Justin Trudeau basically being forced to bend the knee. That right there will be the second video of the day. But still, though, make sure you guys please cut the notifications on so that way you guys are notified when the videos come out. Also, please hit the like button for the algorithm so that way the video will take off up into the algorithm. Also, you guys can follow me on Facebook and X. Make sure you guys hit the like button on those posts as well, so therefore it will go up the algorithm. And let us go ahead and get into this. So, once again, Bill Maher had another guest on Club Random. And, of course, I don't cover every single one of his guests, but I definitely cover the ones who say the most outrageous crap. And of course, I also cover Bill when he actually puts these people in place because you guys know me. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. But something about this one right here, I think hit Bill in a pretty hard way. And let me go ahead and kind of explain what I mean by that. Supposedly, Bill Maher is considering quitting. Yes, he's considering quitting. However, I don't think he's actually going to quit. I think, if anything, he's probably looking to take a break. That's probably what he's looking to do. I mean, it has been an exhausting year. Everybody here on YouTube's viewership is down. We just had a political season, a political year. I know my channel has suffered for it. I mean, I'm actually going to be changing the content up in 2025, or at least changing the tone, not the actual content itself, but how I present it. And of course, it's something I've been wanting to do for over a year, but due to medical circumstances, due to the chaotic nature of the year, I figured I would go ahead and stay exactly right where I was and stay in the bubble that I quite frankly understood and knew. And of course, we're all taking some hits as a result of this. But this right here is exactly where we're at in today's society. And of course, you're probably wondering how it was that we got there. Well, it's possibly because of loons like Hanoi Jane. Now, with that right there out of the way, let's go ahead and look at some of this.
Because the other part of the coalition are people who, they don't really like him that much. They just think the far left has gone so nutty on so many issues.
That's what they're being told.
That's what they...
By people like you.
Because it's true. You think the far left does nothing crazy?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, well then...
But I don't know. Who is the far left? What do you mean when you say far left?
I mean, I could give you a million examples.
Yeah, well, give me one.
Okay, the NAACP...
You think the NAACP is far
Could
left?
I finish my sentence?
Yes.
You asked me for an example.
Yeah.
The NAACP last year issued a travel advisory.
The NAACP travel advisory, I'll talk more about that after we get done with this next segment, but let me go ahead and roll it roughly 21 seconds. I think you guys can already tell where this is going. I mean, it seems to me like maybe Jane Fonda is, why she says that they're being told this by people like you. It seems to me like what's happening here is that they're telling Bill, you're not going far left enough. Meaning that the Overton window really and truly has shifted, like we've all said. But like I said, we got a lot to get to here. While it is true that the NAACP and the identity politics is definitely far left, I would have responded with you. I would have responded to Jane Fonda by saying you. You are very, very much on the far left. You are very, very much a part of the fringe. You are very, very much the reason why it is that we lost. But me being the opposition, being their enemy, I can't help but revel in their loss. But of course, this conversation does get better.
The State Department does, to go to, I'm sure when you went to Vietnam, they were advising you not to. There's a war on.
I didn't talk to them. I don't have no.
I know, but you know a travel advisory.
Yeah.
Today we have them for very dangerous countries. You
Yeah.
know, don't go to North Korea. Don't go to Iran.
Yeah.
You know where they issued a travel advisory for black people not to go?
That trip that she took to Vietnam where she practically joined the NVA, where she went out of her way to throw our troops under the bus and America under the bus. That's why we call her Hanoi Jane. Like I said, there'll be a much, much greater description of that in the video that I made on Hanoi Jane and why it is that we call her that. But still, though, at the same time, the wokeness and the social justice warrior faction of the Democratic Party and the current Democratic Party, Jane Fonda is a great example of this. You see, what should have happened to Jane Fonda after she got back home was that she should have been tried for treason. Or she should have at least pulled some prison time. Now, she tried to apologize for some of it, but still at the same time, though, she should have been held accountable then. The NAACP has been allowed to run amok to where they can pretty much say and do whatever the hell they want because of identity politics, because the current Democratic Party caters to them. Everything you're seeing right now is an end result of all the identity politics. Now, granted, there is more to talk about in this video, but still at the same time, that right there is what the hell this is. Also, not to mention the fact, you guys know me, I always tell you the truth about this, Bill Maher also aided and abetted in this with all of his support for liberal causes, the secularness, basically anything and everything that Bill Maher did on Real Time with Bill Maher, especially in even his own other shows outside of Bill, because people forget that Bill Maher has not always had Real Time with Bill Maher. He's been around for a while. He's always advocated for the secular liberal causes. He's always gone out of his way to make fun of Christians, conservatives. He's basically done that his entire life, his entire career. And while some of it may be comedy and some of it's not something to really truly get offended about, he's definitely pumped up the volume on conservative bad, Republican bad, anything Christian bad, anything conservative bad. He's part of the problem, part of the reason why it is that we are in the situation that we're in, because he never really truly did a good job of holding people like Hanoi Jane accountable. Travel advisory to Florida. Well, I don't know if the NAACP knew this or not, but Florida's got a lot of black people that live there too. It's just the lunacy of the left is what the hell we're dealing with. Now, let me play the next bit for you guys because even though it's a little bit longer, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the current left and why it is that the current left is the way they are.
Where the tipping points
Absolutely.
happen. And then there's nothing we can do. It's out of our control. And we don't have a lot of time between now and the tipping points, okay? Which is stop all new fossil fuel development, cut our emissions in half very quickly, and then gradually phase out. That would probably be considered, maybe even by you, as radical.
Well, it doesn't even matter because it's never going to happen. That's just not something humans are willing to do.
It's going to have to happen.
No, it's
Or there's no future for us.
well. First of all, that's not necessarily true. I've always been on your page.
Well, then how can you say that
well,
isn't necessarily true?
I'll get to it if you let me.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, the problem with tipping points, which I totally am on the page. There is a tipping point, and it could be tomorrow. We don't know. But the problem with that argument is that they have been saying it for a long time and made tipping point predictions that we've passed, the blue team.
Well,
And that's,
I mean, I don't know. I read 2 papers, and maybe I don't. I should watch Fox.
If you take anything out of that minute and 14 seconds, what I want you to take out of there is what Hanoi Jane said at the very end. Do you want me to watch Fox News? Now, really quick, I understand why people don't watch Fox News. I use Fox News mostly for clipping from time to time. And of course, I still check in with Fox News and other news networks. But when you sit around and you watch MSDNC all day, guess what? You're probably going to develop the taste for what it is that they have the mindset of the crap, these raw sewage they pump into their viewers every day, which makes me wonder what's going to happen in the future with those over a certain age, over the age of 65, who are subjected to the View every day. Makes me wonder what the hell is going to happen. That's probably part of the reason why it is that seniors have shifted to the left and people below the age of 65 have been shifting more and more and more to the right. At least Gen X is anyways. And also millennials and Gen Z. But still, it makes you wonder what the future is for these people because as you may or may not know, those who are elderly typically tend to be the easiest to spook and scare. It's not like they go out and go protest or anything like that, but of course, you guys know what I'm saying. You're getting older, you're getting a little bit more fearful of what could be going on outside. You see something on TV that scares the crap out of you. You hear somebody running their mouth about Nazism or this guy is Hitler, this man is orange and bad. After a while, you're probably going to be a little bit fearful because the elderly typically tend to not be as informed as us because they rely mostly on the television for their news. What really baffles me about this conversation is how it is that Bill is actually starting to see. He can't save these people. He can't save what it is that he's been working towards. He really and truly can't save these people. Like I said before, he helped create it. We got more to talk about, though. Now, I'm not saying that Hanoi Jane fits the mold, but Jane Fonda has always been a damn loon. Just saying. But let's watch some more of this because the more and more this conversation goes on, and I know some people in my audience who are from California, who live in California, oh, you're really about to get set off now.
really don't believe that the state we live in, California, is lacking regulation. There's over 300,000 regulations. I mean,
Well, maybe they're needed.
They're not. When I tried to put in a garage door, I had to have 3 inspections. There should have been none. I should be allowed to change my garage door.
Are you kidding? Really? It was about a garage door?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that is.
No, you know this about California. Come
No,
on.
I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry. I don't.
You've never heard that California is overtaxed and overregulated? That we are a one-party state where there's sort of no checks on that sort of extreme leftism. And that, what do you think?
I don't for a minute consider California a state that is extreme leftist. Not at all, not any way.
Well, that shows where your politics are. That's not where mine are.
This woman actually believes that the people in California are not taxed enough. She does not believe the taxes are ridiculous in California. This kind of goes back to the video that I did on Colin Cowherd, where he went out on his podcast and he basically said that he wasn't experiencing the crime that the Californians were experiencing in Southern California. He wasn't experiencing the problems that others were. Well, yeah, you aren't experiencing it. You're a multi-millionaire and you live in a gated suburb. Not everybody in the state of California lives in a gated suburb like you do, you dumbass. And not everybody has the privilege of having a father named Henry Fonda and a brother named Peter Fonda. Not everybody has the privilege of having that Fonda name. That's probably the real reason why it is that Jane Fonda never went to prison over what happened in Vietnam. Hanoi, to be exact. Like I said, we call her Hanoi Jane for a reason. Nobody likes this woman. Nobody really and truly cares for this woman. However, there are some things about Hanoi Jane that people do, in fact, forget. They forget that she quite literally probably had a hand in our current media, whether you know it or not. Yes, she was married to Ted Turner. Okay, Ted Turner is the guy who founded CNN. She was married to him, I think, from 1991, I think, to 2000. Now, she eventually got divorced and claimed that she got saved and became a Christian, but obviously that Christianity didn't exactly apply or stick to her. She didn't really take it very seriously because, like, not even a year or two later, she was out there screaming that the world is coming down, the sky is falling, and, of course, to go on top of that, not only is the sky falling, but the world's about to end, which is kind of funny, too, because AOC is supposedly going to run for president in 2028, and she said the world was going to end by 2024, and, well, we're right here. So these people automatically look like fools, just saying. Now, gang, I threw in, real quick, just very, very quickly, I threw something in about Olbermann, okay? I told you that the video would not really actually be about Olbermann. However, the reason why I included what you guys saw at the very beginning was for this clip right here that kind of explains the mindsets of these people. Let me play this for you.
If you can go online and look up the definition of pardon, okay? I pulled it up. Just go to definition of pardon. Just type in definition, right next to the right definition of pardon, okay? Zoom in. The act of releasing someone from the legal consequences of a crime or an official document that does so, okay, of a crime. So what Keith Olbermann indirectly is saying is that Joe Biden's entire administration were criminals.
10
That's
million.
what Keith Olbermann just said.
Yep.
Keith, you indirectly just said all Democrats are criminals. Maybe somebody needs to call Keith Olbermann from the DNC and just say, shut up, similar to when they made a phone call to Mark Cuban and said, Mark, stop talking about Kamala Harris and go on a Haktua podcast, which I don't know if you saw or
I
not.
saw, yeah.
He was on a Haktua podcast.
So, yeah, Keith Olbermann, like Patrick Bet David just said right there, is basically saying everybody in there is a crook. Pardon all the crooks. Olbermann, like I said before, is kind of persona non grata to the Democratic Party, kind of sort of persona non grata. But someone like Hanoi Jane, on the other hand, is still very, very much in the celebrity class, as well as Bill Maher. These people are loons, and I think that Bill is beginning to finally see this. Or maybe he's seen this for a while. Maybe he's known this for a while. But go back to what I said earlier. It looks like he's considering just walking away because Trump obviously broke these people. I don't think Donald Trump actually broke Bill Maher. I think that people like Hanoi Jane broke Bill Maher. But like I said before, it's mostly just speculation at this moment in time. I think if anything, he probably wants to take a break. The fact of the matter is that Bill's not going to be able to save these people. These people right here are way too far gone. And going back to what I was saying about Hanoi Jane, this whole crap that we have right now going on where you have district attorneys who are backed by a guy who's not prosecuting anyone. By the way, a lot of these DAs got voted out. This nonsense about believing that the state of California, the people in California are not taxed enough or their taxes are not high at all, when obviously Jane Fonda is a multi-millionaire and obviously Hollywood royalty to a certain family called the Fondas. This type of mindset, this type of, let's just say monkey see, monkey do, meaning I see you getting away with this, you getting away with that there. That's what's kind of sort of precipitated. That's what's kind of sort of led to all the crap that we're dealing with today. There are people right now looking at this and saying, man, maybe if somebody had just simply held her accountable, someone like, say, maybe Bill Maher, a secular lib, who's all pro-free speech, but also Trump deranged himself, is probably saying, you, my dear, should have been locked up the minute you got back home from Vietnam. They should have put you away for 10 to 20 years or, whatever. They should never have let you out because you are the epitome of quote-unquote privilege. If you want to see what privilege looks like, there you go. Jane Fonda, an actual traitor to the United States, somebody who actually threw this country under the bus, the men and women who served this nation under the bus. Or someone like Keith Olbermann, who's an actual legitimate crazy man, given a platform who spews literal hatred out of his mouth every single day. So, no, you're not going to be able to save these people. These people are too far gone. As I said in my video earlier about Jink debating Hassan Piker, Hassan does not seem to understand. This right here is why you lost. Now, if you think that I sound angry about this, No, I'm actually quite happy this right here is going on. I want to see these people devolve into absolutely nothing. I enjoy watching these people eat each other. And it's even more satisfying to see someone like Bill Maher, a secular lib who helped create this current nightmare we're in, going out of his way to save these people and bring these people back to sanity. It's not going to work, Bill. It's probably not going to happen. But still, at the same time, it is kind of hilarious to see. With that right there being said, guys, you guys please tell me what you think in the comment section. I understand I'm just kind of like crapping on Bill Maher right now, but he kind of deserves to get crapped on for all the crap we've gone through because of people with likes of him. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.